been at the prediction, so I'll just let you know where we are with this. We put a poll on, and at 25-8, it's still live. I don't know what it's doing now, but at 25-8, the fans forum, 736 votes have been cast this today on this one, and they think that Warrington, St Helens, Salford, and Leigh will contest the semi-finals. That's what the fans forum are saying. As for Gary Schofield, he thinks Leigh, I mean, this is unbelievable. Leigh will win by 52, bold. Salford by golden point, Saints by 14, and the Wire by 10. So he sees it in terms of who's going to go through exactly the same as the fans forum, but some of those score lines pretty juicy from Gary Schofield. So let's start at the top and work our way down. No doubt about it. Home advantage could be key here with the injuries that Hull KR have got. Salford appear to be in good health going into this. Obviously, Ackers, he's back as well for Salford. It looks like it's going to be a Jez Litton, Mikey Lewis partnership in the centres. So in the halves. Sorry for this one. Hull are in. I hate to say it, but they're in free fall at the moment. Joel, will come to you first. Game number 1, Hull KR Salford. What's your thoughts?
Salford are going to win this probably quite comfortably. KR in too much of a spin at the moment. I think they're going to really struggle because Salford are just too hot at the moment.
Greg?
Yeah, Salford.
You're going Salford?
Salford, yeah. And I think Salford will win quite convincingly, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree with that one. York, Leigh, I mean, it was interesting because when Saints played, it was Halifax, wasn't it? Was it
Halifax in the semi-final a couple of years ago,
No, in the last round, did he say?
Oh, in the last round, yeah.
Batley or Halifax?
Halifax, I think it was.
It's Halifax.
Yeah,
and we all thought, they're going to put like a right cricket score up, and they didn't. But can York put on a performance?
You froze there on us a minute, Dave. But
I said, can York put on a performance? I can't say anything but a Leigh win. But
I think York will put on a performance. It's a tight little ground. It's a bit like the Leigh Sports Village. And I think if there was a potential for a shock, it would be this game. But I think that Leigh will win. I don't think they'll put 52 points on them. I think they'll probably win by about 20 points, Leigh.
Joel?
Yeah, it's not often you see anybody other than a Super League team in the quarters. So York are going to back the team big time. Yeah, obviously, I'm seeing a Leigh win, but it's certainly guaranteed not to be a nil score, that's for certain.
Yeah. Then arguably the tie of the round, Wigan against Warrington. This is going to be. I mean, Warrington aren't in great form. Yes, they got the win at the weekend, and only just. I said to Joel, I think if that game went on another 5 minutes, I think
another 5 minutes, we were beat.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield in the ascendancy. Wigan have had 2 absolute hammerings. Very rare. I can't remember a time where Wigan have been beaten convincingly on 3 consecutive occasions. It's at the DW. Could go either way. I think it's one of those games. Whoever turns up on the day wins it.
Yeah, for me, I think Wigan would rather play anybody else other than you guys. In my opinion, and not always right, Warrington's pack is far too strong for Wigan. You've probably got one of the strongest.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Well, the thing is, in my opinion, I think you've got a better pack than Saints by a touch, and Wigan just can't compete. So yeah, they're going to lose again. They're not winning this.
I hope you're right, mate.
I like your confidence.
I hope you're right, Greg.
I think if any game's going to go to golden points, it's this one.
Right, okay.
I know we're talking about the Challenge Cup, but this brings me on to something I was reading this week, that there were some proposals in a bid to look after player welfare that the games will be reduced from 80 to 60 minutes in the future. And yet they're still not getting rid of Golden Point. It doesn't sit with me. But Wigan Warrington, I think that could very well go to Golden Point. And if it does, I think Warrington will squeak it.
Fair enough.
Warrington are either going to win this comfortably,
or
it's going to be a squeaky 1 point to Golden Point win. But I still think Warrington are going to win it.
Right. Well, I hope you're both right on that one. Obviously,
I think a lot depends where the difference lies here with the goal kicking, and Harry Smith has got to turn up for Wigan with his kicking boots on.
It has
because
been a big
Ratchford will ruin him.
It is a massive concern, isn't it, for Wigan? That
it worries you that this could be the game that Harry Smith actually decides that he's going to turn up with his boots.
Yeah, well, we were talking, weren't we, before we went on air in terms of Harry Smith. I think was it 27 missed kicks? I said it was this season.
You're not going to win a grand final or a Challenge Cup.
No, not if
with that number of missed kicks.
No, you're spot on.
You know, I'm the eternal pessimist when it comes to Warrington, but even I think they're going to win this one.
Right. Okay. And then finally,
there's a kiss of death.
And finally, Hull FC taking on Saints. Hull will miss Clifford badly in this one. They will really miss him badly. But even I think that said, such is the form that Saints are now in. Those two back-to-backs, you know, the Saints will be going there supremely confident for this one. I fear for Hull in this. So much so, I think the Salford OKR would have been a better spectacle in the end on the telly than this one.
There's one factor that you need to take into account: the fact that they played Wigan.
In terms of energy.
In terms of energy, in terms of emotion, in terms of what it's taken out of them, the heat. That's the only thing that would kind of make me think that this isn't going to be a walkover. I still think Saints are going to win, but Tony Smith is a canny coach. And I think you have to take into account the kind of how drained Saints will be after what is basically their biggest game of the season.
Fair play, Joe.
But I think Saints by about 10, probably.
10 for Saints, Joe?
Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah, scoreline wise, I'm probably there with Reggie. I think Saints are going to be tired. They're going to be tired because they've really put in some big performances. And obviously the heat is another thing. They've got some big lads, and they're going to tire out if the heat continues, and it's meant to get somewhere near 30 degrees. So that's going to be tough. Hull, thankfully, are no longer reliant on one player anymore, so they are a completely different team to what they were, and they're not dreadful either. So
Litton's back, isn't he? They're saying Litton's back for this one.
Yeah.
Well, great. So that'll be good. Yeah, I see it within 10. We'll probably win it.
Are they going to put Hoy in the halves then, do we think? Is that what they're going to do? Because Litton's a full-back, Hoy in a standoff, maybe?
Quite possibly.
To scrum half? Is that what they're going to
do? You don't want to change your team when you're playing up against a team like Saints.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of Hull fans have said that Litton was playing better at full-back than Hoy was. I mean, Hoy had a good game, against us at Magic, but certainly Litton, I think for about 2 or 3 weeks was electric, wasn't he, at fullback?
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be interesting to see what they do there.
The thing for me is the Tony Smith factor. He outcoached Darryl Powell at Magic. Now he could very well outcoach Paul Wellens, who's a bit of a rookie coach. On
that note, where have all the Wellens Out Brigade gone? Where's the Wellens Out Brigade gone on social media? Where have all they gone? Where have they gone? Yeah, where have they gone? All the Wellens Out Brigade. They've disappeared all of a sudden. All of those, it's Cunningham Mark II. Where are they? Where have all they gone? And we were saying, and one thing that we can say, we said on here, he needs time. He needs time.
Well, fair play to him, Dave. It's been half term. They've been abroad for a couple of weeks. You know, they'll be back. They'll be back on Sunday. They'll be back Saturday tea time.
Happy days.
There's an expectation with Saints now, because it's great that they've won so many times, but now it's kind of bitten them a little bit because the fans expect to win every single game. They expect to win every single title, and that isn't good for the club because fans like that are just so they're never in the middle. So either left or right, and they're just it's comical.
Bonkers, mate. It's bonkers, mate. I mean, I can understand. I mean, is this the third year that Watson's been at Huddersfield now, or his second, third? So you sort of get the rumblings at Huddersfield. You sort of get it. Would I want to see him lose his job? No, but you sort of get it. But for Wellens, I think within 4 or 5 games of being in charge, it's Cunningham mattered too, and all the rest of it. It was just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Again, they didn't take into consideration what travelling down to Australia takes out of players. Yeah. We saw it after the World Cup in the Premier League. After the World Cup in Qatar in the Premier League, they'd gone to like 100-degree heat, playing in a desert. Yeah, and some players needed time to get over it. Some players need time to get over the emotion. Yeah, they are human beings at the end of the day.
And there was a lot of emotion, mate. There was a lot of emotion there. That was a huge win.
It takes it out of players. You know,
yeah.
You know what? I remember many years ago, United won the league with 10 games to spare, and the emotion was gone. They didn't win another game.
Yeah. No, I think
that's why I think Saints. Our Saints could struggle on Saturday because the impact, the emotion.
Nah, I think they'll win it comfy, mate. But I'm with you.
The adrenaline of the win.
But they'll win.
The amount of adrenaline that goes into a game like that, it can sometimes wipe you out for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. After the Huddersfield game, I was wiped out for 2 days.
But that was nothing to do with adrenaline.
Very emotional.
That was to do with pale ale.